Hey guys, what's up? Today I'm going to be doing my best and worst books of 2024. I do this every year. I think I've done it for the past 2 years. But ever since I've been on YouTube, I've been doing this video. So I think is this the 4th year? No. This might be the fourth year. That's so fun. But yeah, every year I do this, I'm like, oh my god, this year was so lackluster, mediocre. But like genuinely, like this year is mediocre. Like I mean it when I say it. I look back on the other years and the books that I read, I'm like, okay, but like at least you had duds and you had suds. Period. No, but at least you have bad and good books. I feel like I had a few good books and the rest were just average. Average? What the? I would say we're gonna do better next year, but generally, I don't know. It's hard. We're gonna do stats in another video. But yeah, let's get started. Let's get into it. This is probably gonna be long. So normally I do my top 10 best and worst books. Guys, this year was so booty, so disgusting, so mediocre that I have to do top 7 and top. Aww. Because I didn't like a lot of the books I read this year, but I hated a lot. It was easy to pick the books I hated. The books I liked, we had to make some adjustments. Let's get started. So first book that we have on our worst, we start with worst here. Worst so then we can get into the best. So we have Minx. Minx by Sophie Luck is number 7 because I didn't like it. Oh, also another thing, we don't look at my ratings, okay? I do this list purely based off of if I enjoyed it and how much did I enjoy. I don't look at my ratings, like something could be a 4 and something could be a 4.5, but I'm saying I like the 4-star book better. When doing this, I look at, okay, what books did I like and what books did I hate? So this book, why do I hate this book? Okay, so this deals with a kink, and I did not know that this book dealt with a specific kink. Now, there's nothing wrong with that, of course, but did that hinder my enjoyment of the book? Yeah. I don't want to say I hate this because it had this kink in it. That's not really like why I hate it. I don't like it because there was a lot of business talk in this book. If you know anything about me, I hate business talk. I'm sorry, no shade, but like when I had to take business classes as a requirement in high school, I hated it. Like I literally just also couldn't understand it. Why is everything so fucking difficult? Everything has a loophole in it. And y'all, when the main characters would start talking about, also I should probably tell you what these books are about. I'll do this after. But when the main characters would start talking about business, they would go deep into it. It wasn't like a little like, okay, like this is what we're No. I was in class and I didn't want to be in class. It was summertime when I read this. I want to have fun and I wasn't having fun, and that's the issue. And also, I didn't like the couple. What do you mean? Like, this is a romance book. I should like the couple. And then there was a secondary couple that came into this book like towards the end. Why did I like that couple more? Things are getting strange. But basically this book is about Ramses and Blake. Basically, Blake is she's an escort to the billionaires, right? So she has this clientele, she has this list, and there's only like a few spots on this list. Now, this man, Ramses, he's a billionaire. Who cares what he does? But he's a billionaire, he's a lot of money. He sees Blake, he's like, oh, I want you and I want you now. She's like, no, you cannot have me. My clientele list is filled up. He's like, okay, well, you're gonna lose your clientele list and make me the only person on it. She's like, well, you're gonna have to buy your spot, period. And he does that. And then we see how that takes off. I didn't like it. Number 6, Below Zero by Ali Hazelwood. Again, this felt like I was in a lecture. When I am reading, I want to escape, yeah. I want to get away from school. I don't want to have to think about it. Now, you might be like, well, you're an idiot because Ali Hazelwood specifically writes STEM romance. And that's not an issue with me. That's not a problem. I love Ali Hazelwood. She is one of my favorite authors. Thank God I found her this year. But I read the other books in the series, and this is basically just like a novella series. It's about 3 girls, and they're all friends, and it's just like little novellas about them finding love. And each book is like specific like STEM area. So like this book I'm talking about right now is like space. Another one of the books talks about the environment a lot. So those were good. This, I didn't like it. And I feel like maybe some of it was because it was space centered and I'm not really rocking with space, I guess. But also, I just did not care about the couple. When I would read these novellas, I was very excited, very wanting to know what was going to happen next. What are these characters going to do? How are these characters going to be interacting? And I just did not care. You could not pay me to care about Eric, no, maybe? I don't even know their names. I didn't care. And that's an issue. So no. Okay, next. For number 5, we have The New Cosmic Story. R.I.P. to John. So this basically just takes us on a journey of learning about the cosmos. And basically, this man has like 3 ideas throughout the entire book. There's 3 views. But he basically uses these 3 views throughout the entire story, and he bases different ideas and then says, how does this idea relate to these 3 views? And he basically says like one of the 3 views is like really good, and this is how we should be looking at the world. So for example, one of the views where the world is still unfolding, that's called anticipatory. And then we have a topic like transcendence, and then he'll talk about like the anticipatory perspective about like transcendence, right? And he'll do that for each view, and then he'll basically say, well, anticipatory is the best one. It's like that for every single chapter, and there's 12 chapters. Can you imagine my distaste, my anger, my madness when I basically had to read the same chapter over and over and over again with just different ideas? Babe, I could tell you what happened in every chapter without reading it. Like, he's going to have the same point of view, and it just got tiring. It got repetitive. I don't want to do this anymore. So that's why I don't like this book. Okay, so then we have an honorable mention. This honorable mention is weird because I really like this book. I really do. But the journey to get to the end, basically where I liked it, was crazy. So I'm going to put Destroy the Day on here. But guys, don't take this seriously. I put this on here because the structure of this book was insane. I've said this in a lot of my videos where it was like 100 pages straight of one chapter, 100 pages straight of just one character's POV, and then the next 100 pages, another character, 100 pages, another character. I would forget what happened 200 pages ago when we were talking about the previous character. What is going on? And then also like the main couple becomes like a side couple. How does the main couple of your book become the side couple in the final book? This is why I'm continuing the series, Bridget. I'm continuing the series so I can read about the main couple, and they're not even in this book. I don't want to spoil it for you guys, but what the fuck? But basically this series, this is the last book. The trilogy is basically about, there's basically a pandemic going on in this world, and a girl and a guy are on the mission. They're on a mission to combat it. How the medicine to this like pandemic, to cure it, how the medicine is being distributed is really weird. People who are less fortunate are not getting their medicine. So 2 of these people, a boy and a girl, are basically stealing medicine and then giving it to the less fortunate. But then like things, they start getting caught up. It's crazy. We don't know what's going on. The premise of this book, the plot was so good to me that I fell in love with it. But then the series just went more downhill as we continued with the series. I don't know what happened, but yeah, this is an honorable mention. I did not like it for a majority of the book, but then the last 100 pages saved it. Thank you. Next, we have number 4, The Striker by Anna Huang. I already have a tumultuous relationship with Anna Huang, and this book, oh my god. So basically this follows Scarlet and Asher. Scarlet and Asher, and it's a brother's rival. So Asher is Scarlet's brother's rival. They're not supposed to like hang out and talk, whatever, but they end up in this like forced proximity situation, and then they like fall in love, of course, right? So then there's like some forbiddenness going on because they have to hide it from the brother. I like that part. But what I really didn't like is the fact that this book was 600 pages long, basically. You can have a romance book be that long, but make it make sense. I feel like the characters didn't even like each other. I feel like the characters didn't have chemistry. Why am I reading this 600-page book and the characters do not have chemistry? That is really weird. This is a romance book. There should be romance. I didn't like the intimate scenes. They caught me off guard. Not even caught me off guard. They were weird. I didn't like it. I didn't like the things that Asher was saying, the things Asher was doing. It really wasn't my thing. It wasn't my thing. And that's okay. That's all right. This is a no for me. I also understand that this is the first book in a new like sports romance series that she is doing. So she does have to do some like character building, some world building, introducing us to some more like characters that are going to be in like different books, right? Great. That doesn't take away from the book sucking though. Hopefully the next book that I read by her is good. It's just very lackluster, bland. Like, you can skip. Let's continue. Okay, so number 3, Defend the Dawn, Bridget Kemmerer. So this is the second book. I just showed you destroy the day. That was the final book. This is book 2. This I hate with a passion. Now, I can't say a lot, and that pains me because I don't want to spoil this for you guys if you want to read it. And I hate to put, like, the first book is so good, and I was so excited to get into this series, but this sucked, and then, like, half of the third book sucked, but then it picked up, and then I really loved the ending. So, like, what's going on here? What do I say? This book, all I'm gonna say is 180. I don't know why our main girl does a entire 180-degree flip. Unrecognizable. I don't know who this character is. She was one way in the first book. All of a sudden, she's this new character. She loses all of her character traits that I fell in love with in the first book. She was so headstrong. She was so determined. And then here we just have this like lost sick puppy. What? I guess I'll do a spoiler portion. I just want to know how this man is going to come in, be like, hey, I'm important. Hey, you actually have to like come on my ship. So they all go on his ship. Tessa, Coric, Lachlan? What's his fucking name? Lachlan and, what's his name? Jake? I don't even remember that. Ryan. Who the fuck is Jake? Ryan and Lachlan literally saying, well, Coric is the devil. Well, Coric kills people. And then Tessa being like, you're right. He does kill people. I should be scared. Girl, you knew this from the jump. This is what the whole conflict of the first book was about. And you got over it. You got over it. And now we're back to where we started. And now you're being like, no, he kills people. Like, I should be scared. I hate this like 180-degree female main character in a fantasy like syndrome. Like, this is a disease that they have because they're all down, and this is in general, they're all down for their boyfriend, they're all down for the dude who kills people, he's dangerous. Oh my god. Now of course when they first meet him, they're like, okay, like I should be wary of you because you're dangerous, but then they get over it by the end. Obviously, why are you still messing with this dude if you think he's dangerous? But then come the second book, they want to act like him being dangerous is brand new information to them, and they're like, oh, I can't be with you anymore. That's immoral. Girl, you knew this from the beginning. Like, you're just creating conflict for no reason. So I'm gonna need us to do better. I'm gonna need the authors to do better. Stop doing that. If you're going to make your female main character, and it's okay, first of all, it's okay for them to develop, I'm saying that, but when you completely just overwrite what was done in the first book just to have some sort of conflict between the characters, you're doing an injustice. It's not good. It's not good writing. It's not good. I'm not having a good time. This isn't fun. This isn't character building. This isn't character development. You're not furthering the story. You're actually regressing. You're pushing us back. We are not progressing. Number 2, sacred nature. So this is number 2 because I don't understand, why do books keep doing this? They keep having one central idea, which is nature. We have to think of nature as sacred so we can take care of it again. Great message. I like it. Why do we take that theme and it's just overdone over and over and over and over again through every single chapter, and then you're gonna have these different cultures and traditions, which, okay, I like learning new stuff. I like learning about new cultures, but you're having these new cultures and then somehow you're tying it back to sacred nature and how we have to think of nature as sacred. Think of us as one with nature so we can take care of it better. But you're doing that over and over and over again. I'm sick. I am tired. This and the Cosmic Story has that syndrome. I don't understand. We have to fix it. Number 1, I just did a whole video on this, so I'm not going to spend that much time on it. I feel like we all can gather. Love in Other Words. Basically, this book is about Elliot and Macy. They were childhood best friends, and then they turned into lovers. But then 11 years later, for some reason, they stopped talking. Why did they stop talking? Oh, we're gonna find out. So you are number 1, because I don't like that there's essay in this book. It is not dealt with properly. It's up in the air if this character got sexually assaulted or not, and that's it. Y'all need to talk. I understand that y'all did all this work to build up the childhood friends to lovers trope. I understand that, but you still need to talk as adults when you get together, especially. But now we are on to my best books of 2024. Some positivity. Number 7, we have Part of Your World. Part of Your World is about Alexis is a renowned emergency doctor, and she has this legacy at the hospital where basically you need to be running the show, all right? She has this pressure to be this perfect person by her parents, but then she meets someone so opposite of her named Daniel. He runs a farm is. She runs like an inn, bed and breakfast, if you will. And they meet and they're just so polar opposites, but in a way they fit together. And then they have to try and figure out how are they going to work. And it comes with a lot of obstacles, a lot of struggles, and nothing stupid, nothing trivial. No. Real adult, mature struggles that they have to work through. Thank you very much. This was good. I also just talked about it in, I think, the reading vlog that I just posted. So I'll keep this short because I go really in depth in that. I love Alexis's struggles. Walk with me. I love how we got to see her come from, oh my god, I'm such a people pleaser, I'm letting other people dictate my life, to literally grabbing people by the neck, wringing them by the neck, throwing them away, and then finally getting to a place where she can thrive and live her life for her. I absolutely love that. Daniel and Alexis, you're great. I love how you guys can come together. I love how Daniel teaches Alexis how to be a human being, how to do things that she was not taught, how he teaches her things so she can be an individual, and not from a like, oh, let me teach you how to live. No, nothing weird. This is genuine. Let me just teach you how to fix a dishwasher. Let me show you. What else did he show her? I don't remember, but he showed her just basic things that she just wasn't taught. Him doing that also provided her like a sense of like security and confidence in herself that also made it so she would be able to leave her situation. If that is not king behavior and the standard, I'm not really sure what is. Number 6, Next of Kin. What you're gonna see is a lot of my best books I read on digital. A lot of the books I hated, I had in real life. What? Anyway, Next of Kin. This dealt with the foster care system. This is about Chloe. Chloe has this little sister. Her mother, terrible. Her mother, she's not really mothering right now. She has an addiction problem. She either has a problem with alcohol or addiction to drugs. So this causes Chloe to have to take in her little sister. So she takes in her little sister, but she is failing on the, I think, the financial part of, you know, the adoption process. But then we have Warren. Warren has a little brother as well, and he's failing in the house department. So there's this program where you can like, hey, if you are lacking in this problem, and then someone's lacking in this problem, but like you're good in this and they're good in that, you guys can match and then be great. They come together because they're, you know, basically benefiting each other. Things turn romantic. That's it. This book was amazing. I love that we got to see the journey of Chloe and her mother and figuring that out, because her mother wasn't there for her. She was in the foster care system, but now they're adults. She's raising her little sister. What does that relationship look like, you know, between her mom now? I like seeing that. And then we have Warren and his little brother, and then they have a dad issue. What's going on with that? I love seeing that. In the midst of all of this, we also had them just dealing with their little siblings and trying to like figure out, okay, how am I gonna be a caretaker in this moment right now? But then we also had them, Warren and Chloe, in a relationship and trying to figure that out, and that was so good. I loved every single scene. Hannah Bottom Young, you're my new favorite author. I do have to read more from you before I can say that, but I really loved this book. I really enjoyed it. It was so good. Highly recommend. Next, I think this is number 5, Defy the Night. This is where it started. This is where it started really strong. I honestly look back at this book, I'm like, maybe I should give it 5 stars, because the way I finished this in 2 days, this was crack to me. 50% one night, woke up, finished it. Like, what? I already told you guys what this was about, and this is the first book. This was so good. This is young adult fantasy, so the plot, like, it isn't an adult fantasy, right? So it's not like the most complex thing ever, but it's easy to follow. It's just so enjoyable. And then you just have the 2 main characters, and they have to a big plot twist happens. You have to read that to find out. But this plot twist happens, and then the characters have to try and navigate like their relationship. It was so good. That's honestly all I'm gonna say about it. I don't want to spoil anything. I don't think I even can say anything. I love this book so much, and I really am upset that the second book was garbage and then the third book was garbage, but then it turned out good at the end. I have really mixed feelings about this trilogy. Then we have an honorable mention. If I read an Adrienne Young book, it's gonna end up on my list. Saint. So I finished the series this year. This was good. This is a prequel to Fable. Fable is about a girl who is stranded on this island because her dad dropped her off there, and she's like, why did my dad drop me off here? I have to figure that out. So she's saving up all this coin, and she finds this helmsman named Wes, and he is going to take her to her dad. So that's that. But this is the prequel, and we get to learn about her dad. He's very like mysterious, methodical, cold even. He just has this aura, this vibe about him that's very like unsteady. I don't feel safe, but like maybe I do. I don't know. Depends on what side of his you're on. But this was just the prequel to all that. And this was good. I enjoyed seeing his background. It's like if you took a magnifying glass and just like looked at like a part of his life, and I needed more. I need more with him and Isotle. Isotle is Fable's mom, his actual lover. They're so cute. I need more scenes with them. Novel dropping soon. Novella dropping soon. Number 4, Under Paint the Sky by Stacey Lee. Anything that Stacey Lee writes, I'm going to enjoy. And that's just that on that. There's no really ands, ifs, buts, no. What ifs, no. There's nothing of that. This basically follows Samantha. Samantha is going through it. Her mom passed away. Her dad just got into a tragic accident. She almost gets sexually assaulted. She kills the man that almost sexually assaults her. But now she's like, well, I have to run away. There's also this girl named Anna Mae. She's a runaway slave. Anna Mae was there when Samantha committed this crime. They're like, okay, deuces, we're going to California. They're on the Oregon Trail. But they're like, okay, we can't be women on this Oregon Trail. So they're cosplaying men. They come across 3 cowboys. The 3 cowboys become a part of their story and their journey to getting to the Oregon Trail. Things get messy. Thoroughly enjoyed it. Like, this was such a fun time. I love the sisterhood that this brought us between Samantha and Anna Mae. The dynamic between the cowboys was fun. And then also the cowboys, you know, they had a little romance with the girls. But then again, it also had me questioning because I was like, queer love? Because the cowboys are getting with the girls, but the girls are dressed up as boys. So do the boys love boys? I love that. But then it just had me questioning throughout the whole time. I'm like, do they know? It's really up in the air if they like knew. At the end of the day, it don't matter because they pulled a Mulan, period. This was really good. I also really like that Stacey Lee's going to do this every single time. Every single time. She's going to add historical information. She's going to add information that's actually, we have to know. And it does not feel like a textbook. It doesn't feel like a lecture. Even if it did, girl, sit down and read that. Know this about your history. Know this about history, babe. And I really like that she does that because it highlights stuff that I wasn't privy to. Like the stuff that Asian Americans went through, that's not taught in high school. So I like that through her books, I get to see Asian Americans and the disgusting turmoil that they had to go through, but then I also get to see them highlighted and taken care of and given this pedestal to shine bright. Thank you so much, Stacey Lee. I love everything you write, and period. I'm about to buy your other book, Luck of the Titanic. So now we're in our top 3. This was hard to like figure out what's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 3, period. Okay, so we have number 3. Yours truly. This was Abby Jimenez's year for me. This follows Jacob and Brianna, and they're essentially in a fake dating situation. Jacob has anxiety and he is literally me. I felt so seen throughout this book. The way Brianna literally took the time to understand Jacob and do things that I guess will make him feel more at ease. She didn't even make it a big deal or anything. And I love that. And it just really showed that even before things got romantic, physical, whatever, like there was those little things that they did that already like cemented the relationship. A great friendship. This is a great like strong relationship because they understand each other and it doesn't have to be said like, oh, I need this, oh, okay, I'm going to do this. No, she already knew, hey, like I thought this would make you feel this sort of way, so I already did this, or this is what you have to do because I know you might feel this sort of way. And that's great. And I love that also Jacob said like, thank you. And then y'all, when it did get to like them being romantic and having a relationship, I ate it up. I ate it up. So real, so raw, so mature, so adult. I loved everything about it. And that's what you're going to get with Abby Jimenez. You're going to get a fun story, characters that you're going to fall in love with, and it's going to be deep, it's going to be emotional, it's going to be vulnerable, and you might see some of yourself in there, because what the freak. Brianna also had her struggles as well, and then we saw how Jacob was dealing with that. Perfect. No, literally no notes. Number 2, sincerely no notes with this one. Not in love. People don't like this book, and I don't understand why. I felt the chemistry. I felt like I was in chemistry lab and I was pouring chemicals together. I feel like I was making an experiment. They had chemistry. I don't know what people are on about. Eli and Rue. Rue is working at this company. Eli is there, and he's the villain in the sorts that's basically trying to take the company down. So that's that. But we also have Eli and Rue, who have met previously through this app that is just essentially for hooking up. So they met previously before this. They did all of that. And then they see each other again. It's like, wait, this is my company that I work for. Wait, you're trying to take down my company that I work for. What's going on? But we also have disgustingly vivid chemistry and tension. What do we do with that? The things that Rue and Eli did? I have to reread it, and I never reread. Not in Love, great. I also saw myself in Rue as well, because she's like shy in a way. Like, she's never going to be the person that's going to speak first, and she says that. And she also says that people take her like being kind of shy and timid, I guess, as like she's rude or mean and doesn't want to talk. But like Eli, literally, he finds this girl fascinating and just reinforces where she thinks she lacks. And I mean that in like every single way. Like, if it's just like them talking, if it's them not talking, like he just is that reinforcer and just like tells her, no, you're great. No, you're actually perfect. No, I actually want you. And I loved every single part of this book. It took me a while to read this, but every single time I came back to it, it just kept getting better and better and better. And I'm so excited to read her new release that's coming out, and also read the books that she's already published and see what those are about as well. But now we have the number one book. This is become one of my favorite books ever, Archer's Voice. So this is about Archer, and he's also had a very tumultuous upbringing. It's horrifying. Then we have Bree. Bree has also like a very scary event happened to her that's causing her to move into this little small town in Maine. Archer, in this little small town, he's kind of like known as this weird guy. Some people in this town actually like egregiously piss me off, so they just denote Archer as this weird guy, which is crazy. Don't ever disrespect my man like that. He's basically a very homebody. He doesn't really come out. But Bree's like, I'm gonna give this man a chance. Like, you guys are off your rocker. You guys are crazy. She and Archer start talking, and they built a amazing, beautiful friendship. That friendship turns into a actually heart-wrenchingly, disgustingly beautiful romance. I'm sick. I'm actually sick to my stomach. The way this book had me sobbing is something that can't be replicated. I don't know if I have ever cried or felt just such strong emotions towards the book. Genuinely getting a little scared. These characters felt so real, and their love, again, felt so real. I hate when we have just like lackluster, bland romances like The Striker. Like, I cannot believe I read this masterpiece and then had to read that garbage pile. Literally, what I love about this book is that they have challenges that not every couple has to go through. The challenges that they had to overcome just made them even more connected, made them a much more better couple. And the fact that they were just so ready to like work on themselves so they can make the relationship better. Are you kidding me? Am I being punked? Like, why is this book so good? This is the standard. Honestly, like, I don't think I've read a romance book this year that's topped this. Communicated with each other, the things that they said about each other, like through like their internal dialogue too, the way they like describe the other person, and they would always just like look at them and then respond. Like, I don't know. Maybe this is also Mia Sheridan's writing. That's just like, this just ate. This was amazing. And the way she just dealt with this romance. If y'all know any other books like Archer's Voice, please, I beg, like emotional romance like this, please. A love story. This is not no rom-com. This is a love story. I need more like this. If you guys have any, I need them. But that's going to be the end of this video. I feel like I talked for 8 hours. How is that possible? But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Maybe you got some recommendations. Maybe you're just like, oh, she's stupid and dumb because I said I hate a book that you like. Let me know what you think. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys had a good reading year, unlike me. Like, what the freak? Even though I found like a lot of favorites and some new authors that I really love, I feel like it was also still a dud year. Like 30 books out of the 7 I really like. Are we serious? Maybe I should pick better books next year. Who knows? But yeah, let me know what you guys read this year, and I'll see you guys in the next one.